Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we completed the Exalted Plains, and we have returned to Skyhold. It is time for another round of companion talks. We did Varric last time, so we are starting today with Cassandra. Hello, my dear.
It's good to see you.
Hey! She likes us. Yes, so you're a romantic then?
So, that book you were reading?
Yes, what of it?
So under that taciturn shell beats a true romantic heart?
Why must it be an accusation? Romance is not the sole province of dithering ladies in frilly dresses. It is passion. It is being swept away by the pursuit of an ideal. What is not to like about that?
I like that you like it. No, we're not gonna flirt. Nothing at all. It's just unexpected. You're wasting time. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong about that. And here's my question. Why should that be unexpected? Oh, Cassandra has muscles and short hair. That means she likes lifting weights and soccer and I don't know, other stereotypically tomboyish things. Like, no, that's judging a book by its cover. Who's to say that Cassandra can't be a bad bitch and also like romance novels? She's multifaceted. She's a complex character. She's not two-dimensional. And there is nothing wrong about liking romance novels.
Oh, I quite agree with you.
Then why are you laughing at me?
I wasn't.
I will never hear the end of this, will I?
Nope, not at all. Don't run away from me.
What do you need, my friend?
We're her friend now. I'd like your advice.
Do you have any advice for me?
Tell that demon, what does it call itself? Cowl. Tell it to leave. He may not mean harm, but that does not mean he will not harm us. Spirits are not creatures to take at face value. Be cautious with him, Inquisitor.
I can respect that. At least it wasn't tell him to leave because fuck him. It was like tell him to leave because he may not mean harm, but spirits and demons can be, you know, as she says, they're not creatures to take at face value. You should be cautious. Like, I can get behind that advice. I still love Cole. He is still my adopted son, but I can understand why Cassandra would say that. Okay, bye, chicken.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Indeed. Oh, you keep training, Cassandra. You do you. And now, do I want to speak to Lace? She never really has anything to say. She's fine. Krem. Krem, I love you, Krem.
Your worship?
Okay, tell me about the charges. How can we use you? Tell me about yourself. I don't think there'll be anything here, but we might as well ask it.
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the charges?
Nothing jumps out at me. If I come up with any ideas, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Can we talk about the Bull's charges?
Certainly. What can I tell you?
Tell me about an interesting job.
Have you had any other interesting jobs?
We went up against Gatler's giants in Ferelden. Not actual giants, but big guys, all wearing a dragon's weight in armor. Might as well be fighting golems. The chief challenged Gatler himself to a single combat. Gatler laughed and called him a horned savage. The chief broke a dam and flooded the valley. Last we saw of Gatler was a bunch of bubbles as we swam away.
That's beautiful. Bull, like, again, Bull, another character that you shouldn't be like, oh, well, look at him, he's big and muscular, clearly he's an idiot. No, he's like, okay, these guys are all in really heavy armor, let's drown them. Fuck it, like, we don't even have to get hurt, we can just drown these hoes, like... I like that about... I think that can be said, actually, for all of the companions in Inquisition. Even Sera, who I hate... She is a lot more than what you would see. They are all very multifaceted and complex characters. They are all so wonderfully three-dimensional. Like I said, even with Sera, who I hate, I truly cannot, no matter how much I say I hate Sera, like, no, the hatred in my heart is bigger. I really don't like this character, like, truly. But there is so much under the surface. Like, you look at her and, oh, quirky, pixie, lesbian girl, but there is so much more under that. There is so much depth there.
We'll talk later.
And by later, I mean now.
Your worship?
Yes, tell me about yourself.
I wanted to talk about you, if that's all right.
You know, I'm from Tevinter. Wasn't a slave, but even citizens have it rough if they're not mages. I was a soldier, but women joined the ranks under a different program. When they found out I was passing, it got ugly. I ran, at Bull near the border, and ended up here. Not a life I'd wish on everyone, but it'll do.
This could be... How do I put this? This could come across as very ignorant. Oh, why do you pass? 'Cause he's a guy. That's why he passes. He is making the exterior match his interior, if that makes sense. I will say, though, if I remember this correctly, this is less like, I don't understand. You have different parts. Brr. It's less of that and more like, tell me about your childhood. Like, when did you realize? Which isn't so bad. I think I'm gonna leave this to the end. Yeah, what actually is Tevinter life like? Aenor's never been that far north, and I do think she'd wonder.
What's Tevinter like for a citizen? Someone who isn't a slave or a mage?
I'm of the Separati, citizens who aren't mages. Mages are in charge and everyone knows it. But a wealthy merchant can have an easy life. At the low end, people just try to stay out of slavery. My father was a tailor. I joined the army after the Imperial slaves drove him under.
How did slaves drive your family out of business?
My father made shirts, aprons, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy. One of the magisters had a pet project to prevent the poor from dying of cold in the winter. Nice, right? He had Imperial slaves making simple peasant clothes and selling them for almost nothing. That magister's nice idea put out slave-made clothes at prices my father couldn't match.
Great. Isn't that great? He had good intentions. That's arguable. That's arguable because one, the slaves probably weren't getting paid. I mean, they were slaves. I do understand that in Tevinter you can sell yourself into slavery and you're like, okay, I'm going to be a slave for the next 10 years. I'm going to get this nice lump sum up front and I will give that to my family, But like these people were slaves. They weren't getting paid at the time they were making the clothes. They weren't getting paid for their time or effort. And then those clothes were then being sold. The Magister is going to be turning a profit. Is that a nice idea? Is that good intentions? Who would buy those? The poor. Because, as he said, they were being sold for almost nothing. And it's cold. And they have limited money. And sometimes you have to make do of a bad situation, and that includes buying slave-made clothes. If that's all you can afford. And I think Aenor would understand that. I think she'd be empathetic to just the common people of Tevinter who are just trying to live their lives and avoid being slaves themselves. There we go. Yeah, I think this best sums up what Aenor's thinking.
It's difficult to compete with someone who doesn't get paid.
That's Tevinter. My father sold himself into slavery. He's one of the Servus Publicus, the Imperium-owned slaves now.
You said you left Tevinter when they discovered your secret.
Women are allowed to serve, but only in certain ranks and disciplines. I was up for promotion, but the healer I'd bribed to sign off on my physical had to tend to a sick magister. When the replacement healer saw what was, or Wasn't in my pants. He made threats. It was slavery or death, so I knocked him out and ran.
Damn straight. Yeah, is being trans illegal in Tevinter then?
It's against the law to pass as a man.
It's a crime to lie on an imperial application for service. Would have been a heavy fine or slavery. For 10 silvers, the healer said he'd tell the Tribune I was sick in the head. Some pity for the mad little girl. That was when I hit him. I'd served for a few years. I was good at hitting.
I fucking love Krem. I fucking love Krem. I'm not gonna lie, if Krem comes back in Dragon Age 4 and is romanceable, I will lose my shit. Like, in the best way. I mean that in a good way. I'll be frothing at the mouth of Krem. Krem, yes! I love Krem so much.
I'm surprised you escaped from the Tevinter Imperium so easily.
It's not like I lived in Minrathous. I was in Trevis, not far from the Navarran border. It helped that I was being chased as a deserter, not a runaway slave. Slave hunters only get paid for what they catch. They're efficient bastards.
Why did you decide to live as a man?
I didn't decide anything. I've been like this my whole life. My parents wanted me to marry up. They tried to find me a nice merchant's son. Every day, put on a dress, look into my father's shaving mirror, and just hate myself.
I love Krem's story so much. I love that line. I like the line that's on screen right now. I love that. I think that's beautiful. It's very, very sad. Don't get me wrong, it's very sad. But it's so beautiful in a way. I don't know if they actually spoke to trans people, or if they had trans writers working on Krem, but I think Krem is such a good representative for the trans community. I really do. Would you change with magic? I mean, blood magic can probably do a lot of things. Like, the game's focus on, you know, blood magic doing damage, but I mean, you could probably use blood magic to heal. You know, oh, this person has an infection in their blood. Well, we'll just stop that. We'll stop the blood from moving, or we'll send it going in a specific direction, and, you know, that kind of thing. So maybe there is blood magic that could, you know, effectively, you know, give someone a surgery of their choice.
If you had the chance to use magic, would you change all the way?
What? No. I don't want any magic like that within 10 yards of my body. When I was younger. I don't know. Everyone has silly dreams. In Tevinter, dreams like that get you killed. Bull helped me make a good life. Nice armor and a well-placed sock, and I'm happy.
And that doesn't make Krem any less valid. The fact that Krem still has a female body, it's irrelevant. Like, personally, I don't care what's going on under your clothes. I don't care whether you have a penis or a vagina. I don't care if you have a uterus, ovaries, testicles. I do not care. I genuinely do not believe that your body is what makes you you. It's like a flesh capsule that keeps you safe. Like, that's what a body is, in my opinion. If you say you're a guy, I don't care what's going on under your clothes. I don't care what your chromosomes are. If you say you're a guy, you're a guy. If you say you're a girl, you're a girl. That's it.
How did your family react when you started?
My mother wanted to throw me out. She said if I didn't marry well, I was dooming the family to slavery. She was happy to take the money I set as a soldier, though. Not that it mattered in the end. My father. When I was little, he'd angle his mirror down so I could pretend to shave, just like him. He never said anything, but I think he knew.
Some parents do. Because kids can be rather obvious in that way. I mean, when I was little, I remember I remember watching The Road to El Dorado, which was my bisexual awakening when I was very, very small, and my mum was saying, "Oh, don't Tulio and Miguel look handsome?" And I was there going, "But Chell is so pretty." Yeah, Callista, but like the guys, Chell, just going on about her, and like, oh, Velma from Scooby-Doo, that was another. So, like, from a very young age, my mum is there going, yeah, I don't think this kid is necessarily straight. I think there's something going on there. I think my mum, she prepared for me to come out as a lesbian. So when I came out as bisexual, she was still rather like, oh, what? Pardon? But she reacted very well. To be fair, I came out in a very stealthy way. I think my dad missed it. I don't think he realizes. But like my mum, she was a bit shocked. Like, oh, this was not what I prepared myself for. I prepared myself for the Mum, I'm a lesbian. But like she took it on the chin. She responded very well.
We'll talk later.
Shocked, but very well. Oh, you keep doing you, Krem. I love you, buddy. Excuse me?
You've been training. You're really making the most out of that armor. I focus more on offense myself. Only so much defense I can do, right? I'm quite big. It's not like they're gonna miss me. What about you? What made you decide to turtle up?
I'm focused on teamwork. My offense was fine. I want to be unkillable. I mean, I think it's between these. Because here's the thing, I know she uses a big fuck-off greatsword, but that's just because she had the strength to do it. She didn't necessarily pick up a greatsword and was like, I want to scare the shit out of people. She was just like, oh, I'm strong enough to wield this. Fuck it, let's go. Like, I don't need as much finesse as I would a regular-sized blade. I can rely on brute strength with this. I'm so drawn to this because Here's the thing, I don't think that's what Aenor would say. I mean, everyone wants to be unkillable. You don't go into a battle to be like, and this is it. This is the final one. This just doesn't sound like Aenor to me.
I can take more punishment than most. I thought I might as well play to that and draw enemy fire.
Taking one for the team, huh? Well, we appreciate it. Just don't get yourself killed. You're the only one of us who can seal rifts. Anyway, did you need anything, or just come by to talk shop?
I mean, that's fair. That is very fair. Ooh. Yeah, tell me about Seheron.
Can you tell me more about Seheron?
It was a damn ugly place. Only getting uglier when I left. Between the Fog Warriors, the Talvashath, my people, and the Vince. You were lucky to go a day without blood. What do you want to know?
There you go. That's a nice angle. Tell me about the Seheron natives. Tell me of the Fog Warriors. Tell me of the Talvashath. Tell me about Tevinter. Ooh. You don't really often hear much about the Seheron natives.
What are things like for the natives of Seheron?
I remember one guy. He made these things, fish wrapped in thin bread. Nice guy. Talk to him every morning. So, one time I'm asking about his bad back, and I see he's nervous, trying to tell me something with his eyes. Next thing I know, his assistants draw knives and come at my team. The rebels had forced him to poison my food.
And then?
I'd seen how nervous he was, so I hadn't eaten anything. A couple of my guys weren't so lucky. We killed the rebels. I lost 2 men to the poison, another to knife wounds. My friend who made the fish wraps died with a knife in his throat. Close quarters fight. He was caught in the middle. That is what things are like for the natives of Seheron.
Yeah. It is not a peaceful place.
What were the Fog Warriors like?
They were the worst of the rebels. They trained for stealth attacks. They made this fog. I never saw any mages, so I figured it was alchemy, not magic. They were almost invisible in it. I'd be on patrol in the market square. The fog would roll in, and before I knew it, half my squad dead without a sound.
It almost sounds like you admire them.
They didn't use poison. They didn't hurt civilians, and they were damn good fighters. You have to respect that. Plus, they hit the Vince as hard as they hit us. Hearing some terrified Magister scream, "My slaves! Where are my slaves?" in the fog always put a smile on my face.
That would be pretty beautiful. That would be very beautiful to hear.
Tell me about the Talvashoth.
When Qunari can't handle the fighting in Seheron or lose faith in the Qun, they go rogue. They flee into the wilderness and turn into bandits, attacking everyone. They're vicious, savage. You look at them and you can see why my people needed the Qun to stay civilized.
Yeah, then aren't you, Talvashoth? Bull is on the verge. That's the problem. Bull developed PTSD. And I mean, you just heard him. You know, the thing about his friend, you know, ending up with a knife in his throat because of the close quarters fighting, and then a fog rolling in, half his people are dead within the blink of an eye. It's no wonder Bull developed PTSD. And then in that he became disillusioned in the Qun. And, you know, he went to the re-educators. They said, hey, leave Seheron for a bit, pretend to be Talvashoth. And he's on the verge. He still has that loyalty to the Qun, but does he believe in it? And I don't think he completely does.
Isn't that what you did, though?
Hey, when I burned out, I didn't go rogue. I reported in and went where the Ben Hasrath sent me. I'm doing my job, serving the Qun out here. I'm not some bandit. I am nothing like them.
And that's the thing, the Qun... It's like the Codex entry we read. That guy who was gonna go become Talvashoth, he was shown pictures of dead women and children and told, oh, if you want to be Talvashoth, you have to go do that, because that's what Talvashoth do. But that isn't the case. Some Talvashoth go a little bit freedom mental and, you know, decide to kill women, children, and just hide in the woods being like, yeah, we're gonna stab people. But some Talvashoth go, okay, I'm free. I'm gonna go be a merchant now. I was told to be a soldier. I want to be a merchant. I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna raise a family, pay my taxes. Like, you can't compare all Talvashoth to each other. But that's exactly what the Qun does. Bull has this idea that Talvashoth are bandits, but not every Talvashoth is.
Tell me about the Tevinter people you fought.
The Vince sent forces to Seheron every autumn. Guess they didn't like the summer heat. We had some good fights on the beaches, standing in knee-high water foaming red with blood, ships on fire around us. The cities were worse. Free bit of advice. Don't let the Inquisition forces get suckered into urban combat.
Why do you hate Tevinter forces so much? What makes them so bad?
It's not their armies. It's their spies. They bloodied Seheron year-round, killing loyalists, supporting rebels. Alam had no city administrator. Nobody would accept the position. The last 4 who held it died inside a year. Trying to conquer a country is one thing. Making it so nobody can live there, that just screws everyone.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Okie doke. Now I know we could talk to him about the charges, but we'll do that another time. Okay. Oh, Krem's standing on his chair. Good for you, Krem.
I'm running drills, they're drinking, and paid better.
An insult to real soldiers. Is that what they want the faithful to see?
This wouldn't have happened under the Arl. Pride in the job, that's what's missing.
The Arl was an arse. I was with the band.
It's like I don't know you.
Okay. Okay, fancy pants people, whatever. You do you.
I'll keep an eye out.
Now then, Sera. How you doing, chicken? Excuse me.
I
Excuse
hear
me.
Verchiel was good pay for you, Inquisitor. Time to go see if my friends came through too. Got a location for a stash. Hopefully something nice for my trouble. Well, your trouble. Just let me know when you're ready to head out. Be sure to bring your empty pockets.
Sera, are you okay? Why are you standing like that? That must hurt your leg. Girl.
Who's putting up the reward for this?
Don't know. Sometimes it's pass the hat. Sometimes it's I lifted this from Master's vault. Doesn't matter, does it? Job done. Time to get what we're owed.
Again, I'd like to point out the Red Jennies weren't contracted. They decided to stick their noses where it didn't belong. So effectively, we're going up to people who didn't ask us to intervene and being like, oi, pay me. Like, this is an issue I have with the Red Jennies more so than Sera. Because this is an issue with the organization here. They just decide, oh, we can intervene in this. We can get involved. Okay, we intervened. Time to pay up. We didn't ask you. We have no money. We kept being forced from our homes. We have nothing. Like, what are you talking about? God damn. Yeah, let's go now.
I'm ready if you are.
Always, yeah. My favorite part, this. Let's go see what friends can get us.
Nothing. They can get us nothing because we weren't supposed to be there. Ooh, let's bring... Considering this is a Red Jenny mission, I doubt rocking up with, like, one of the head Inquisition people would be wise. We want to be sneaky. I think Cowl would be good. And... I'm inclined to go with Solus. Out of the three mages, I feel like he's the most incognito compared to, you know, a Tevinter mage and Madame de Fer.
Wait, this is weird.
What?
I was expecting a village or something. The people that leave me stuff don't trek out to places like this. Give me a city and I'll give you a tour, but surprise, surprise, I don't know stupid woods or ruins. What's that?
Don't hurt me. Harmond made me do it.
Calm down, I can help. Of course it's gone wrong. What are you doing here? Yeah, we're here to help. No worries.
Quiet yourself. We're here to help.
Help? Had enough help. I complain about a fight and suddenly I'm an agent or something.
You were the one with the rumor out of Verchiel. My friend.
You're her. You're the one he's waiting for. It's her. She's here. Red Jenny.
Oh, we're in Crestwood. Hello. So I just want to point out what he said. I complain about a fight and suddenly I'm an agent. So what I take this to mean, this guy was maybe in a pub just saying like, oh, Harmon's a bit of an arsehole, isn't he? Like, he keeps making us move. I fucking hate him, ba ba ba. And there was a Red Jenny agent in the tavern, or wherever he was complaining, and that Red Jenny agent then told Sera. This guy had no knowledge about the Red Jennies. He was just venting. But then suddenly someone took his venting and made it this big thing, and now he's being punished. I get the Red Jenny. It's all well and good if someone goes to the Red Jennies and says, hey, I'm in need of assistance. I really could use the help. But these people didn't. They didn't ask for help, and now they're being punished. All right, dickheads. And give me one of them. And spinny spin. Bam. On the floor.
Oh, hold on. I was not aware the Inquisitor was personally involved. This is a tragic misunderstanding. Let's all sheath our swords, you walk out, and we'll conduct this like business.
Don't believe this pissbag. He started it.
So I mentioned at the very beginning of the game that there were 2 winners for the Dragon Age, get your voice in the game competition. One of the winners was Flisser, the bartender at Haven. This is the other winner. The slimy scumbag noble is the other winner. I love that. Actually, you know what? I'm just about out of time for this episode, so I'm going to read a couple of codex entries. And then at the beginning of next episode, we'll go have a talk with that guy. Where were we? You. Red Templar foot soldier. Do you remember when I was tracking some mages hiding in the mountains? I found those Red Templar heretics attacking them. The Templars turned on me as well. The soldiers looked like normal men and women, but they rained down blows so hard it numbed my arm through my shield. It took me 3 minutes to kill just one, and he only stopped when I cut off his head. That's when I saw their leader, a huge, misshapen knight. He made a gesture and a streak of light streamed from him into one of the soldiers. Red lyrium burst through the soldier's back. He changed into some kind of thing that made the mages all sick. I still don't know how we survived. These mages are children and frightened scholars, hiding from the war after their circles fell. Still, if one of them wasn't a healer, I'd have lost my sword arm. Letter from a Templar knight who left the order to her husband. Red Templar guardsman. Jers. When I saw the Templars marching up the road, my heart was glad. I asked if they'd come to stop the rebel mages who burned down the farms, but one growled it was none of our business. That's when I noticed his eyes were red. Not like he'd had a long night at the inn, but really, truly red. Vernie announced these were the band's lands, and it was his business who was in them. The Templar bastard cut him down without a word. 12 of us against 3 of them, and we never got a strike past their shields. They're stronger than any man I've known. The Templars swung full tower shields of metal like they weighed nothing. We had to run. Tell the bands to seal the castle gates against any visiting Templars. Letter from a guardsman employed by Ban Harkwald. And Red Templar Knight. At first, I was only suspicious. Some of my brothers and sisters were acting strangely, spending time in the company of those who only days earlier we hadn't even given a passing glance. I would enter a room, and they would all be sitting together, talking in hushed whispers, and then they would all stop altogether. I felt my intrusion keenly and withdrew, wondering how it was that I was not included in this group. Was there dissension in the Templar ranks? Were they speaking of rebellion against the Seekers of Truth? I could not fathom it, so I kept my peace. Then I saw the lyrium vials Sir Randall kept in his gear. It was accidental, as he had them wrapped in dark cloth and immediately covered them when I entered his quarters. But I did. They were red, not blue. Again, I held my tongue. Now I wish I had not. More and more of my fellow Templars stop talking when I walk into rooms. There is little talk of continuing our hunt for the rebel mages. There is little talk of anything at all. I see the red vials they wear openly around their necks, no longer hidden. They are stronger than the rest of us, and it suddenly seems as if proper blue lyrium has become rare. Shortages, they tell me. I saw Sir Randall this morning, and his eyes were red. For the first time, I am wondering if I should abandon my post and flee the Order for good. From the Journal of Sir Caitlin of the Order of Templars, 941, Dragon. And with that, I'm going to bring this episode to a close. In the next one, we go have a chat with that noble fella over there. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, And if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.